Know what you want and believe that you can and will get it.
Your time is limited.
Always keep going.
You quit on me! Keep going! You keep going!
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video here on the Fortitude Investing channel. Just wanted to obviously show you all the red on the screen. I'm just kidding. I just need something as a background, and this is fitting. So just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the pillars of the channel and just kind of get into a little bit about what I stand for and what this channel stands for. But I just kind of wanted to get into it. So investing is just a word that is generalized term for saving today for a better future. Now, in the world of investing, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I'll just stop you right there. You give me about 10 reasons why investing is just too hard. Let alone have you seen the housing market? To be completely honest, though, you are right. It gets harder to find good paying jobs. It's harder to buy a house, and inflation is just killing us every single day. I mean, all these statements are correct, and there's no arguing that. But I mean, the sad thing is that unfortunately, it's just the world that we live in. But I can take this even a step further and just say AI is going to take over the world. No, I'm just kidding. But you get the point. It's okay to have all these thoughts and beliefs. I have the same ones. I mean, I can't sit here and tell you that these don't exist, because they do. I have a job. I talk to people. I have family and friends, and all these are very common points of conversations with people. To say that inflation and expensive housing isn't a mainstream problem, then I'd be a liar, because it is. I can even go as far as to say that most rich people downplay the situation because, well, they don't see it firsthand. Or if they do, it just doesn't affect them the way that it affects us. But you're not watching this video because you're insanely rich and need more information about investing. They're already doing that. I mean, honestly. But equality in the world only really applies to the laws of the government and not really in economics. Unfortunately, most people, they don't have an advantage when it comes to economics. The worst part is where you're born is usually the advantage or the disadvantage that you have in economics. Now, let me shed some light on this. If your parents are born at the peak of the mountain, you're usually destined to live on the top of the mountain, not at the foot of the mountain. Likewise, if your parents are born at the foot of the mountain, you're destined to live at the foot of the mountain. So, in a sense, it's just where you're born, who you are. Stuff that's kind of just out of your control, and that really does suck. And that's usually why most people never make it out, and they're usually in financial ruins. They're always struggling with money. So if most people are born at the foot or somewhere even in between, how does one get to the top of the mountain? That's the hardest question for anyone to truly answer. And most who have made the trip have different experiences. Although there are a few answers, and most who have made the trip have different, although there are a few things in common with their stories, there's a few things that do stand out in some of these stories of making that trip to the top. One, they desperately had to create because they had to save themselves from the wrath of poverty. I mean, it's just being creative, finding ways to make do with what you have. This is meaning that there was a belief in their mind that they were destined for greatness. They just had to make a longer journey to the top. The next part is they sacrificed easy and fun things for a better tomorrow. In a day and age where there are so many distractions, this is one of the hardest things to do. I'll be honest, I mean, video games, TV, they're very enjoyable things. They're probably one of the harder things to restrain from, and it can take up a lot of time. Just like any other habit, you have to break these habits. So here's my confession on what I do believe to be true. And it's broken down so small, so easy that, I mean, anyone can understand it. You're here because you need something to change. Change is a good thing. Uh, you've noticed something that's wrong and you're doing something about it. And that's why I'm so happy that you guys are. You're doing something about this. My screen just went black this one. Sorry. But it's the best thing that you can do for yourself. I started this and I made it as simple as I could possibly make it. Each morning I wrote down uh, what I loved about myself. Very simple and easy to remember. Just take out a pen and paper. That's all it takes. Think of three things you know that you're good at. Make it so freaking simple that like you could literally just teach a toddler this kind of stuff. I just said that I'm good at making people feel loved. I'm good at taking care of my body, and I'm good at smiling at people when I walk past them. Can you do these three simple things? Just write down three things that you love about yourself. That's all. Write three things that you know you can get better at as well. I can get better at saving my money. I can get better at waking up early, and I can get better at eating healthy. Just keep it so dang simple. Seriously, just keep it simple, guys. Don't make it too hard. Just write down three things that you love about yourself and three things you can get better at. I want you to feel silly when you write these things down. I want it to feel so simple that your ego hurts a little bit. I mean, I'm not the one that makes the rules here. Or am I? No, but seriously. Make it so simple that you question, why you're even doing it. That's normal. That's normal. Trust me, I had those exact same feelings. But I mean, honestly, it doesn't take a degree to invest or to eat healthy or to sleep well. You don't have to know how to make a bed. You don't need to know how to plant a garden, nor do you need to know the economic structures of the market. Make this paper so simple. Keep it simple and don't forget it. I mean, if I told you to remember something in your head and you tell me, and to tell it back to me in a month, you'd want to make it simple. You'd want to write it down and review it every day. Make sure that by next month that you remember that, so that when I ask, you'll be like, hey, bam, 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 no problem. And I know y'all did this in school. I don't think I didn't go to public school as well. Yep. So the next thing I ask is, outside of just writing these things down, find a book. I really don't care what it is. It can literally be like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I stress this enough. It does not matter what type of book it is. It can be fiction. It could be nonfiction. It could be about what you love. I literally don't care. All you got to do is read it 5 nights a week. Don't do 7. You don't have to do 7. Just try to keep it at least 4 or 5 nights a week, at least. But seriously, like, just make it so simple. Just 15 minutes before you go to bed, just read that book. I'm not asking you to spend 10 hours a day just brutally researching how to invest or how to, whatever you're trying to do, try to get better at. I'm literally saying read for 15 minutes, write down a couple of things, and just repeat them every day. Like, that's simple. I know you guys can do that. I know y'all can do that. Last thing I do ask though too is go into Google and look up some good quotes to live by. Just screenshot it, put it on your phone as your wallpaper, so you can see it every single day when you turn your phone on. You're like, oh, bam, right there. But I mean, you got to be wondering at least, like, what the heck? It can't be this easy. This doesn't even make sense to me either. I still don't know how it worked. Seriously, I really don't. And that's all I did to get this train moving. I mean, if I can start this simple, I know y'all can do it. I know y'all can do it. Seriously. I had the same struggles of just trying to find answers. And the longer that I looked, the more complicated it got, the harder it was. Um, you know, if you're trying to start something new, why would you start out by learning some like advanced math or something like that if you don't know how to do math? When you get into kindergarten, what's the first thing that you do? Well, you do addition and subtraction. That's all. Very simple. If that, you may be like counting little blocks. It's like the simplest of the simple, and then simplified again. But seriously though, you didn't do calculus on your first day in kindergarten. You didn't, because there was no way that you could ever learn that. You know, it's an ego thing. I feel like we all want to know the deepest and the most difficult things when we don't even know how to do the simple stuff. You know, that's all. I just want to keep this stuff simple. I want to keep it so simple, and I know that things can get a little bit out there, and I know I can too, but I want to make this a little bit more separate from just my normal news update, what's going on channel, and just talk a little bit about, just how I discipline myself, how I become a better person, and how small simple things can lead into so much more. And I mean, it doesn't take. I mean, you can literally just get on your phone and you can learn just about anything you want. So I think it's just setting in discipline, doing the right things, and starting so small that it hurts your ego, because it will. Trust me, it will. But no, seriously, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Um, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And hope you guys buy this dip. See y'all.